I was just told that we're ready to go and everything's completely untested and we're gonna hit it with 39 horsepower right out the gate.
What's up, everybody? Today on Cars and Cameras, we're going to find out what happens when you turn the average yard cart up to 11. That's right, we're building the world's fastest yard cart to try to go around the Cars and Cameras leaderboard and take the #1 position. It has a lot of stiff competition. You've got the 525 cross cart, you've got the OG 750 cross cart, you've even got our 1000cc trophy cart. We're going to see if we can do it with under 300 cc's. But there's a ton of work we got to do to this Manco Dingo to get it ready. This is a very ambitious goal because the fastest dingo we have on the leaderboard right now sits down in 14th place. So to get this thing cooking, we have a methanol burning Tillotson 275 that's going to be arriving sometime tomorrow. We're going to be putting front and rear brakes on this dingo, lowering it down for a lower center of gravity, and that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, we need to stay in this thing because what was it? With the horsepower we did last time, I finished on one wheel through the finish line, or two.
Yep.
Yeah, so 5-point harness, indeed.
So let's get this thing stripped down and start our upfit. So our friends over at Go Power Sports heard about this challenge and said, all right, let's make it happen. So they sent everything we're gonna need to kind of rig up our front braking system we need to fabricate up. We have a 7-inch driven pulley to help gear down our Tillotson, which makes peak power in the 9s.
Oh yeah.
So to keep it in the power band, we're gonna need to gear this thing way down. We have dual fuel tanks for our methanol burning engine. So I'm gonna link everything in the description. We'll talk about it as we get to it. But we're gonna start by pulling this axle down because it needs to be reinforced and re-geared.
I guess we can pull the engine off too.
Yes. So we can't lower the rear much because we need a massive sprocket to gear down our engine once again. But the Dingo does have some factory adjustment tabs right there. So when we slide our new axle in, we'll just put it, we'll just move it up just to get it a little bit lower. We're gonna be upfitting this with hydraulic brakes all the way around.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because these old mechanical ones, they're okay with stock power, but not with a ton.
I'm sorry about the original paint, but it was flaking off anyway, so. But I think the rim will make it. It just bubbled up like that.
Okay. Weight reduction.
I was looking to just make sure there wasn't any cracks in there and stuff, and we'll still wire brush it and repaint them for Ike because I really like the original gold rims on this bad boy, so we'll hang on to them for him.
I don't see any movement.
Nope. All right, so I'll take responsibility for this idea. They won't break free, so I said, let's go ride it around.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. That'll free them up.
Yeah, don't do this at home.
Yeah, don't do this.
Or at your buddy's house. Or ever.
But I'm going to keep, look, John's going to drive it. I'm an adult, so it's adult supervision. I'm going to keep a close eye on the rear tires. Not, if you see me do this, frantically, stop. We're just hoping that this frees up something. Woo! This is so bad, but so funny. It does good, don't it?
Well, riding the go-kart around for 10 minutes with no nuts on the tires didn't do anything.
Dude, I was back spinning that thing on the ice out there. Donuts left and right, trying to get it to pop off. It wouldn't do anything.
Nothing. So we're gonna have to resort to dropping the axle, cutting it in half so it'll fit in our press, and then pressing each half out. But we're gonna put the halves on the shelf because we always need them for jack shafts anyway. So waste not, want not. What sucks we have to cut it, but we'll still use it.
Hot potato. Oh, there we go. Oh, it is warm. Yeah, it's almost like we rode it or something. You got an arm on. Yeah, around the cage. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Let's see. Lift.
Oh.
clear. And it's out.
And it's out.
Good goodness. That doesn't want to move at all.
Fun times. We could be done already, but we're all too prideful to just cut the axle and give up.
I really don't know if this is gonna work. So.
Send it, buddy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did it wrong, but it's pushing up in the center.
It's oh oh oh.
It's just you're gonna have an axle in your ceiling here in a while.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so we can't go any further. We gotta get a spacer. Cause look.
Oops.
Okay, so the problem with this piece that I've put in, it is now a bullet. So we're gonna put it behind some bulletproof steel. There we go. Because I don't want that in my chest. We're okay. Now that it's moving, we're safe. But it's when you pump it and you keep building pressure and it doesn't move. Oh, hey, it got light. Ooh.
So we have a brand new live axle kit here from Go Power Sports. Well, it's not the whole kit actually. We're reusing the outer bearings. We're reusing the sprocket hub because it's in good enough shape, at least for right now. And so this is a 2-inch wider axle than factory, just for a little bit more stability around those corners. So we have the second biggest 420 split sprocket that Go Power Sports sells on this thing. Because again, when your power peak is in the 9s,
Yeah.
you need to gear it short.
And if you notice what I'm messing with right here, the third bearing.
Yeah.
We're adding extra support just so the middle of this axle doesn't get pulled up towards the engine.
Yep.
Because that's how much power we're dealing with.
And it'll help kind of reinforce this whole area. I mean, we've busted motor mounts like this before with half the horsepower.
Yep. So if you Go Power Sports gussets here and here,
Yep.
and maybe a plate underneath there from them.
Yep.
So we'll figure it out.
So here's our setup for our third bearing support. Basically, it's spanned across the bottom of the engine mount. It's going to box that in. It should make the whole setup much, much, much stronger. And, you know, it's really unnecessary unless you're going to 11 with your yard cart. So, send it, buddy.
All right. And then all right. I'm just gonna tag it a few more times and then just weld it. Just like that.
Oh.
And you know what I forgot to do, but a good tech tip, is you see how I was welding right near this axle? If I would have sprayed WD-40 on this axle, no slag sticks to it. It just bounces right off. So, just chuck tip. So next up, I'm working on the brackets for the rear caliper and kind of tying in the rest of the structural support for the engine mount. Got a couple ideas, maybe just a tab here and make something that ties in to there, to the other bolt, the brake caliper mount. But so far so good. Just might need to get a little longer piece of steel than this.
Yeah.
How are the front brakes going?
Well, we're trying to come up with like a DIY front and rear brake system on a go-kart, and there is no like universal kit, but we might have something figured out. So right now we have a what do we call this? A one-legger wheel hub assembly from Go Power Sports, basically for like your one-wheel peeled go-kart. And this is going to go on the front end of the go-kart. And we also got a 6-inch brake rotor from them. We just need to go in with a step drill bit and drill these out a little bit. We'll be able to sink this down onto the hub so we have a brake rotor. Then we need to space it out accordingly and rig up a mount for the brake system here. And this is just a universal brake kit for like a mid-size go-kart. Then we need to make custom spindles that will fit because this whole assembly is much wider than factory. So we went over to the lathe and we cut out these new spindle uprights, and then we're gonna weld the bolt to it, and that's gonna also determine our ride height. So a lot of moving parts here. We're gonna go to a time lapse and hopefully show you something really cool at the end.
My heart fell off. Leave it alone.
Oh dear God.
I know what I'm doing.
So we're having a little bit of
A little bit of a what?
a tiff.
Oh, there's no tiff. We were talking about, well, as soon as Charles started putting up the 5-point harness, I'm like, do we really want to be strapped into this thing at high rate of speed? Mainly because of the extreme bounciness that this thing has, and we're just adding more horsepower and more speed, which is going to equal more bounce.
And we're doing away with the front springer.
Yeah, which I think helps a little bit. Every little bit helps.
I don't think they ever did anything personally.
We're gonna find out.
But I'm not saying that they're a waste of
They-
time. I'd rather have that than nothing on just a traditional
They-
go-kart. But since we're going race, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
They can also help save the frame. You know how these things like to break?
Yeah.
Yeah, those springs probably help keep them from breaking as fast.
Well,
too.
we're gonna find out.
You keep saying we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Well, in case you're wondering why we're doing away with the springs, basically it opens up our ability to kind of set the ride height anywhere we want.
A little lower, which all we're doing is the front. The rear is kind of the same as it always has been and always will be.
So we're coming up with a harness bar.
Yeah, because this was a little too high. I didn't even notice it, and I'm glad they pointed it out that if we would have mounted it too high, no matter how tight the seatbelt would have gotten, I think if we would have rolled it, our head, like our body would go up. So by doing this, as long as the bar isn't lower than our shoulder, we won't compress our spine. I think it has to be like slightly above it, right? I don't know.
Parallel,
just-
whatever.
Even.
Same height.
Yeah.
Even same, yeah, something like that. And since we're all three different heights, it's going to be a little difficult. So, oh!
I ejected the.
It just spit the ground out.
the ground.
So we welded in. Okay. So we're adding a substantial amount to the brakes. We're adding more support for the chassis and also to mount our 5-point harness. So I want to weigh this thing when we get it back on the ground to see how much weight it's gained, so we can also figure out kind of a power to weight ratio.
Beautiful.
So we're ready to weld our front spindle and hub assemblies onto this go-kart. I'm gonna show you exactly how it works, because it's actually pretty sweet. So we have the 6-inch drive wheel here from Go Power Sports with the studs that come off it. We have these bushings that we made on the lathe yesterday to space the rotor off of the wheel so that we have clearance for our caliper. Then we have this really nice laser cut brake rotor from Go Power Sports as well. I'll link them in the description, that we had to drill out ever so slightly so that it will fit on our drive wheel. Now this drive wheel is originally designed for a sprocket, but we're repurposing it for the front so we can mount a rotor on it. So the caliper is going to go right in that gap right there. We have a 8-inch grade 5 bolt with a spacer down here at the bottom, and that's going to go in the back of this like so. So the wheel is going to go flush against the end of the spindle bolt, and the spindle bolt is going to get welded to the spindle upright. The other advantageous thing about these front brakes we're doing is that it's actually going to make our front track width maybe 4 to 6 inches wider, which is going to help with that high-speed stability, which we're desperately going to need.
Okay.
We got a roller.
I'm stuck.
Nice and wide. It's like the OEM plus Dingo. And we got our 5-point in there too.
Dude, your head is like inside the cage, too.
It's
That's-
not bad.
that's what we
I need
want.
to tighten it up a little bit, but it's not bad. Not
And
bad.
you're not going to go through the
No.
top if we roll it.
Yeah. This
We're
is
going to
good.
put
This is good.
the wrist harness.
No, I think that's a bit excessive, but
Keep your hands in the
honestly,
cart.
I can't move, and that's the problem with this thing. We're with these go-karts is when you end up sliding under the steering wheel or bouncing out.
yeah.
That's very true, so we
That's
fixed
not
that
gonna happen
problem.
anymore.
You know, we got a 14-inch, roughly 13, and then this is a 15. But with tread, I've always thought that these tires are a little taller.
They're sweet, they're great tires.
Yeah. Look, I mean, especially if you got like a mid-sized mini bike, you put that on the back tire.
Oh, it's gonna hook. Yeah.
This thing's going to steer so good.
Oh, it's gonna steer so good.
I remember when you guys put 4 of these on the shifter cart and it wouldn't slide anymore.
Yeah. So now that the go-kart is most of the way buttoned up, enter our power plant. This is a Tillotson block billet cylinder head, radical camshaft, 275cc beast. So now that our go-kart is most of the way together, check out our power plant. This is a beast that cost approximately 25 to 30 times more than our $160 go-kart. This is a Tillotson cast block, 275 cc's, billet cylinder head, methanol burning monster that spin 83 miles an hour in the 8th mile with a 190-pound rider on it. This Dingo originally came with one of those 5-horse Tecumsehs. This is putting down approximately 8 times the factory horsepower output. So be sure to check out our video when Charles and I went mini bike drag racing and broke world records in 2 classes in one night. It was an epic day, epic episode. But in the meantime, let's get this thing installed. So you might have noticed that we replaced our driven torque converter pulley here. On these original ones, I mean, you know, they'll work to get you off the trail, but if you're having like performance issues or you're looking for a little bit more performance, might be a good idea to replace your driven. The springs fatigue, all the moving parts just wear out, so it'll shift too quickly or too slowly, and it's just not smooth So you can trade it out for a brand new one like we have here. We were gonna put a 7-inch driven pulley on this bad boy. Here's a little bit of a secret for you people out there who like your torquey builds, is a 7-inch driven pulley will be like putting a larger axle sprocket on. It'll help you with that out of the hole torque. Unfortunately, we messed up when we ordered it. We got one for a 3/4 inch jack shaft and we have a 5/8 jack shaft. So look out for that, but check out the 7-inch driven if you're looking for more torque on your CVT setup. So we're gonna rock the 6-inch for right now and then probably go to the 7-inch in the next episode.
I smell something on fire.
What do you call that unit of measurement, sir?
1 tool. Cover. Okay, there we go.
All right, we have front brakes.
Oh, it moved on me.
Oh, never mind.
So now comes the difficult part of figuring out how to get this brake pedal attached to this rod right here going to the master cylinder.
That's the only spot we could put it because the room is so cramped on a yard cart.
Yeah, my big old feet just get in the way of everything, and that master cylinder had to be moved over as far as we could to the center. So I'll figure it out, I promise. This to that.
All right, we'll come back to you.
All right.
All right, so now that we've got the tank mounts tacked in here, we still need to finish welding them up, but before we fully mount these up, either inside or outside, one or the other, doesn't matter. But we're gonna tee them together to the fuel tank, or to the fuel pump, sorry. I was just about to get this engine mounted up and Ike pointed out I hadn't finished welding these. So let's finish welding these so we don't rain sparks on this beautiful engine. Then we'll get back to that. There we go.
I think that bump box might barely work. Maybe we need to take all the air out of the tire, fire it up, put air back in the tire.
We could put a universal, no, universal joint's gonna be deadly.
Oh yeah.
Because then the stock will go like this and whew.
There's some kind of joke in here about, it's not like business in the front, party in the back, but it's like Ritz-Carlton in the back.
You know that song, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys?
Yeah.
This is what he was talking about. I know that sounds so dumb, and like half of our audience is gonna go like, what are you talking about? That's my great granddaddy's music. But yeah, no, Wild Hogs. No, that's the wrong episode. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's a joke. It's like yard cart, but then crazy, and you know, like that's what they told us. That's what they told us to watch out for. Kind of like what's
Coat
the,
hangers holding our throttle cable in the front and billet in the back.
That's funny. That's actually pretty good. Can't forget where you came from. That's it.
No matter how much power you're making.
But that just shows that a coat hanger for a throttle cable linkage is perfect.
It's rated for 39 horsepower.
Yeah. I just gotta get the bend right, that's all.
Yep, basically, we don't want to have to cut our tab off and remount our throttle cable, so you know what, for testing purposes, we're just going to extend it with a coat hanger. So we're installing our favorite DID gold racing chain here from Go Power Sports. Clearance is super, super tight between the sprocket, the chassis engine mount, and then the beautiful ARC billet side cover. But it looks like it's going to work.
Absolutely. It's gonna be tight though.
Yeah. But I'm loving the black and gold theme on this go-kart. I mean, got the black chassis, got the gold accents, gold calipers, gold stock factory wheels. Very cool.
So to make this pedal over here go over there, I've made a little cross, well, I'll say it, jack shaft. You know how I am with my jack shafts. I always love putting in a jack shaft. And I've got this linkage that I'm gonna be installing on this. This goes here on the jack shaft and gets welded in. This piece goes into the master cylinder, and when you apply the brakes, this is going to go and it's going to press on the master cylinder.
Sounds like a good plan. Then we gotta bleed the snot out of the brake system.
Yeah.
But the key to these are that they are vented.
They are vented.
are good.
Yeah, keep them nice
one of
and
them's
cool.
backwards.
Wait, really?
Oh,
no.
Yeah. You know,
It doesn't really matter.
I don't think it matters.
It's fine.
It'll self-clear.
Yeah.
I was just told that we're ready to go and everything's completely untested and we're gonna hit it with 39 horsepower right out the gate. Should be good. I got a neck brace, so it's fine.
Watch your head.
It's still pretty light.
We still got our spare belts in case we break down.
All right, so let's weigh this thing, and then it's go time.
80, 35, 40.
80, 40. So 160 plus, all right, so we're like at, what, 220 pounds, something like that? 390 pounds with the rider.
So it's
39 horsepower, 390 pounds.
10 pounds.
10 to 1.
Yeah, 10 pounds per horsepower.
Good for a go-kart.
That's going to be pretty fast.
It's not bad.
You're gonna have to turn the audio down on this camera because I'm gonna be screaming.
Make sure it's looking at you.
No. No? Nope. Should just fire right out. Are y'all ready?
Wait, so and when it runs, how long do I wait to get out of here?
Once
does somebody
I
wanna-
drop the jack, you'll know.
You're going.
Okay, tap me before you drop me.
Just like NASCAR.
Okay.
When that drops,
Yeah, you're gone.
All right.
All right. Are y'all ready?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, me too. I'm not even riding it. You ready? There we go.
Yep. That
I
wasn't
think the
me.
throttle is
That was a lot of. Was that normal?
I wonder if I got to lower the.
That was idle.
slightly.
Okay.
slightly.
I was throwing.
Woo!
I was throwing dirt in my eyeballs.
That's why we do floor jacks.
Yeah, see, he would have taken off at like.
Yeah, you would have been in the pond, brother.
I think what happened here. I think what happened.
I would have aimed for the pond.
No.
It's probably the only safe spot.
I can handle it.
Let's refire.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
I think
Oh boy, I'm nervous.
Here we go.
Yep.
I'm sorry, buddy. Here we go.
I don't know what they're doing.
Well, I'm gonna say that was my fault.
I popped the tire. It was so much horsepower.
What happened?
It debeated.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't properly seated.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this will only take a minute.
Yeah, it won't be bad.
Well, that you threw like a lot of rocks
Yeah.
back in the shop.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna be sweeping.
I was off the throttle on the rocks too, trying to stop that.
Yeah, tire speed.
Yeah.
That was wild, buddy.
Oh,
Those are some of the most
dude,
important ones.
that was pretty good.
I was letting it warm up, and he's like, all right, drop the jack. I said, okay.
Send
You're
it.
concerned about stuff on the floor, not thinking about the rocks that could be coming back.
Right.
Yeah, luckily I put my iPro on for that one.
Woo! Craziness, dude.
Yeah, you gotta be real careful. It's so bouncy. Oh my God!
We might see 40-second something
Lap time.
lap time.
Darn it. The belt stick? No, it stalled. I think Nick, I don't know. That was my bad.
Crazy.
Yes.
I want to get a shot of him coming up the road.
4-wheel drive gone.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's out of fuel, buddy.
They were.
Holy cow.
You all right, bud?
Yeah, no, that's your adrenaline keeps you going. You got to be paying attention to this thing the whole time because it's you're like you're not near anything deadly, and then all of a sudden you're all the way across the
time
field.
travel. Yeah.
It's pushing oil out, but that's okay. I knew it would.
You ever read that book Wrinkle in Time? Just yeah, that kind of that theory.
Was that methanol?
Oil. Some. Out of the carburetor.
Yeah,
How's that smell, buddy?
Oh, that is.
I love that smell.
Crazy.
I cannot look at the tachometer. I think we need tachometer up here.
That was
That was intense.
the 0 to 60 field.
I mean, it honestly felt kind of like my kind of like the mini bike or whatever, like the Super Hogs.
Yeah.
Stall. It's not.
I gotta.
Why do you want to pull the carb or?
Yeah, we're have to. I'm at least have to take the bowl off.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to make an adjustment to the float height because it's just dumping fuel down into the engine. So gotta change the oil already.
Yeah, because it's full of methanol.
Yep. So yeah, either we just overpowered the juggernaut or the bolt wasn't tight enough on the crankshaft. So we're doing some investigation.
So we had some issues with flooding. We didn't put a fuel filter in line from the fuel tanks to the carburetor, and
And we forgot to flush the tanks too.
yeah, I dropped the bowl, and if you look at the tip
Hold on.
of that needle valve, there's a beautiful piece of aluminum.
Rotate it towards me a little bit.
Prob-
There you go, right there. Look at that.
Probably
Oh,
from
boy.
tapping the bung on the bottom of the tank is my guess,
No big deal.
because it looks about like the right width and everything. And this is why it stalled among other things. So we're just gonna blow this out with some brake clean and put it back together and give her another shot.
And always
To show, even with the brand new fuel tank, you need a fuel filter.
Yeah, you really need to flush out the tanks, install a fuel filter in line,
Then send it.
then send it. Yeah, and we're probably not putting a fuel filter on it because
We need flow.
we need flow on this. So hopefully it's gonna be okay.
super flow.
Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna ease it out of here, guys. I'm gonna go to the left.
Okay.
All right. Am I jacked up? Oh, okay.
You're in the air.
All right.
You're jacked up on Mountain Dew. Here we go.
Yeah, man. All right. My goodness. It's so violent.
Oh boy.
Oh.
All right, Ike, you up, buddy?
I mean,
Boy.
are you sure you don't want to go first?
I'm good. If it survives, I'll go.
It's not leaking methanol anymore.
Good. That was wild. Oh, we got, what is that?
I think the chain.
Yeah, the chain came off.
I break stuff. What'd you think?
Oh, this thing's like the most impressive thing I've ever ridden,
Really?
as far as a yard cart. Oh, it shredded it.
Yeah, no, there's not anything left.
I said that's like a 5-minute item.
Yeah.
And you know where it happened? When I hit the bump and it went airborne and it came back down.
So when it, yeah, heavy load,
I think
yeah.
you were at probably about 10,000 RPM.
Yeah, it sounded like it. It was
I
insane.
mean, right when I felt it, I come up.
I think I may add some aluminum paneling right here for a belt shield.
Yeah.
For your shoulder. There's not enough seat. All right,
Wow.
let's get that last pull. So walking back from where the go-kart is, I picked up that much belt.
I think it
Like
introduced in there.
60 yards that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot.
So this has been the most fun I've ever had on a yard cart. Now this thing needs some tuning done to it to make it even faster. The brakes are working fantastic. We're stopping great. We definitely need to do some more tuning to this thing to get it as fast as possible, because we would love to put it on the top of the leaderboard, and I really feel like we can do that. So all the parts that we put on this cart, we're going to put links in the description. Thank you, Go Power Sports. Charles, do you have any thoughts on this?
I can't wait to ride it again.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
Make sure you go to cars-cameras.com and get yourself a hoodie, a t-shirt, a hat. Everything that you buy, all the money goes to projects like this. And guys, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch y'all later.
All right, so a lot of times it's hard to see horsepower on video. I think we had absolutely no shortage of this one. It's not often we do wheelies and burnouts at the same time. So we have a little bit of a bittersweet announcement to make. Charles is going to be transitioning out of his full-time position here with Cars and Cameras. We had a good 2.5 years together, and of course he'll still be a part of the community. We're going to make a whole dedicated video about his last day and why he's going to be leaving if he wants to share it. But we just wanted to give you guys a heads up that in the future, Charles is going to be transitioning out of his role here at Cars and Cameras full-time.
Yep, just gonna be moving back closer to my family, so that way my son has more time with the grandparents, closer to the beach, that sort of thing, and back to the town that I grew up in for most of my childhood and adult life. So it's good to be back, you know, hometown kind of stuff. So.
Absolutely.
And it's sad. It's not goodbye. It's see you later. So don't worry.
Exactly.
I'm not going.
And while, you know, this is a lot of fun work. Family is most important. So we, you know, of course, we respect his decision here.
Yeah, this was definitely one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make.
Yeah, but
sure.
We'll get into it later.
Yeah.
We just wanted to give you guys a heads up. We're going to be doing a President's Day sale on the Cars and Cameras website. We have a brand new, completely overhauled website for our merch, cars-cameras.com, and we're going to be doing a special Chuck Pack to benefit Charles's favorite nonprofit. So we're going to release that Monday on President's Day, and we'll talk about it more in next Wednesday's video. So a little bit of a bittersweet ending to an otherwise really awesome episode, but we wanted to give you guys a heads up once again, and we'll catch you next time.